Tanya Escabel with Cross Country Mortgage, and happy Monday. Today is Monday and it's time for Mortgage Myths. So what myth are we going to talk about today? We're going to be talking about interest rates. How important is an interest rate? I know that consumers, all you know to ask is, what is the lowest rate? What is the best rate? But really, we have to take it one step further and identify what your financial goals are. For example, a lender can help you pay closing costs, and sometimes that cash out of pocket can save you a lot of money because you can keep it in savings, you can keep it in reserves, and then have the lender help you pay closing costs. There is a difference in rates. So let's kind of talk a little bit about that. If I have a client that comes to me and says, you know what, I relocate with my job every 2 to 3 years. I'm only going to be in this home for 2 to 3 years, but I want the lowest rate that you've got. So let's just look at some numbers here really quick. So this client, let's say that they qualify for a 3.25% interest rate. That's a rate with no discount points. We call it our par rate. There's no lender credit toward closing cost. That is our par rate, 3.25%. If they want to, since I know that their goals is to be out of that home in 2 to 3 years, then I'm going to maybe suggest to them, because they're tight on their cash to close anyway, that maybe we look at 3 5/8, which is a little bit higher rate, but then we're able to cover $5,000 in closing costs for them, which is a huge difference. So let's talk about, there's two things you need to look at, not just payment difference, but the amortization difference. So we know they're not going to be there over the life of the loan, but the difference between the interest, if you look at it over a 30-year period, is $33,000. But what we're going to dial in on this great report that we have that we give all of our clients, whether you're a first-time home buyer or move-up buyer, because these numbers really help you make some decisions based upon your financial goals, so you don't just get hung up psychologically on the best, lowest rate is what's best for me. So these numbers will help you make that decision and guide you depending on what your goals are when it comes to cash out of pocket and how long you're going to be in the home. So for example, in a 5-year snapshot, this client would owe roughly around $400,000 at the 3 5/8% rate. At 3.25 in 5 years, they would owe $397,000. So as you can see, it's about a $3,000 difference, little less than $3,000 difference, about a $2,500 difference. So if that client is going to sell in 2 to 3 years and give up $5,000, that's going to take him probably 7 or 8 years to recoup to get the 3 5/8 rate. That would be a better plan for him instead of taking the 3.25% rate, because as you can see, there's only a $3,000 difference, $2,500 difference in 5 years. So therefore, there's so much more to it than just the interest rate. It really goes back to your financial goals. Everyone has a different financial DNA, and I know that someone would be like, why would you take 3 5/8 versus 3.25? Well, this particular client's going to be moving. He's going to leave money on the table by taking that lower interest rate and not taking a slightly higher rate and getting a $5,000 cash credit and keeping that $5,000 in his bank account for reserves. So give us a call. These tools that we have, these reports that we run, are amazing. They can help you make a decision. They're not just cost estimates. They break it down. They compare different interest rates, different terms, if you want to pay extra principal. But that is where it comes to one of the biggest purchases that you're going to make, and there's so much more than interest rate. So it is a myth out there to get the best interest rate, because it really depends on your financial DNA. And as your local team, we're here to help you. Give us a call at 615-300-0794, 615-300-0794, and be sure and tune in to my radio show every Saturday from noon to 1 to learn more about real estate and also all of your mortgage needs and title needs on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.